Hey guys, my name is George and welcome to this new C programming tutorial. Today we're going to be playing with variables in the C programming language. Now this is really simple. I think we're going to be practicing with the simplest kind of variable, which is going to be integer numbers, and this is going to be a really simple lesson for us to take. Now the first thing that we're going to do is that we're going to create a variable, and this variable is going to be of the integer data type, so it will only be able to store integer numbers. Okay, no decimal numbers, no strings, no characters, not for now. Only decimal numbers, only integer numbers, so we can get the hang of it, and then we can do many more things once we learn a little bit more about them. Now the variable, the advantage that it has is that basically you can store any kind of data inside them. So you can store a number, you can store a letter, you can store any kind of information. Now in this case we're going to be storing numbers, and obviously for storing those numbers into variables, we need to declare or define those variables into our program. So basically what I'm doing here is that I am creating a variable called x. Now the way to create the variable is using the int instruction, then leave a space and type in the name of the variable. This name will be whatever you want. Just remember you need to start the name always using letters, and you can use also numbers, but not at the beginning of the name. You can use, for example, x34 is a valid name for a variable. Now 2a, this is not a valid name for a variable. Okay, not valid, remember that. So in this case I'm going to be using just the x letter for this variable, and what I can do with that variable is that now that I have reserved a space in my memory to store data into this variable, we can say, okay, now I want to store number 3 inside x. Now for doing that, you only need to use the name of the variable and say equals 3 and finish with semicolon for finishing the line. Okay, now at this moment right here, x contains the value of 3, and you can also print that by using the printf function. Now for printing out variables, this is going to be really interesting. You start using double quote marks just like that, and for printing out variables you need to use some kind of symbol. Now this is going to be a percent symbol and then the I letter, which basically stands for a integer type of variable. Okay, so this will be printing out a variable that we're going to put over here, use comma, and then type in the name of your variable. So basically this x at the right side, at the right side of the comma, will be passing to this I, percent I, which is basically a integer variable. Now if after that you can use backslash, and then n, so we will jump into the next line, and if you compile this program, for example GCC, which is the new compiler collection program, enter, and we execute our binary file, we will see 3, and this is because we are passing out this 3 over here and printing out using the printf function. Now when we store values into variables, we can also do mathematical functions. We can for example multiply 3 by 3. So if we compile the program and execute it, we'll, oh, sorry for that, I typed it wrong. Okay, if we compile the program and execute our binary result, we will get 9, and this is because we're multiplying 3 by 3 and then storing that result into a variable. So variables can be used for storing result of mathematical operations. You can store single values, and you can even store values of other variables. For example, what will happen if I would like to create a second variable called y? There are two ways in which we can create a second variable. The first one is that we can create it in the same line. If the variable is going to be the same type as x, we can use just comma and then typing y, and this will create these two variables in our program. We will declare x and also y. This is one way, and the other way is to go ahead and type in int y again, just like x. Okay, so I'm going to leave it like that, and what I will do now is that I will say, okay, x is equal to 3 multiplied by 3, and then I will say y is equal to x. Now y is not being assigned the value of a number, is going to be assigned the value that is going to be assigned to it is going to be the value of another variable, in this case x. And if we print out y in our result and compile the program and see what happens, what you will see is that it will have the same name over here that was contained in x, and this is because we can pass out the values of one variable to another variable. So this is another way to store data, especially when we're coding, for example, big programs, and we want to keep some data fixed out over there, and you don't want to lose that value, and you can store it also in other variables, so you don't lose those values. For example, if after that you want to change the value of x, and you will say x is going to be equals to 5, y is still going to be 9. So that's something that can be convenient, as I said, when writing large programs. So this is going to be everything for today, guys. I hope you guys like this tutorial. If you did, don't forget to click the like button below. You can also subscribe to my channel, and in the next tutorial I'm going to be doing some more complex stuff here using the C programming language. So see you guys later. Bye bye.